I will call to order the Stillwater Utilities Authority meeting for December 16th, 2024. Trustees, questions, comments, or action on the consent docket?
Motion to approve consent docket.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve consent. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, the consent docket is approved. Takes us to general orders. 5A is to award a bid to Crossland Heavy Construction for the. There's a lot of words there. I'm just going to let Chris tell us about it. I just got,
the last meeting of the year.
It's a lot of numbers, and
I got
you're coming up anyway.
I got you covered, Mayor. We're good.
Tell us about this bid.
All right. Good evening, trustees. I'm here tonight to present the bid results for the water treatment plant chemical construction project. That's
what I meant to say.
I know, yeah. So the two pictures you see here are some of the facilities out the water treatment plant that are going to be touched by this project. Some of these projects were installed all the way back when the plant was built in 1985 and put in service then. And on the left here is part of the CO2 system, which is going to be touched by this project, and on the right is part of the lime system. And although these facilities have safely moved over almost 100 billion gallons of safe drinking water in the past 39 years, as you can see, they're looking a little tired. So because these facilities age, the required frequent maintenance parts have become difficult to obtain, and in some instances are actually impossible to get parts for them. And in addition, these chemical facilities cannot meet the projected future demand of the city of Stillwater and the surrounding areas as well. So the scope of this project consists of the items highlighted in yellow in the picture on the right there. So as part of this project, we're going to replace the lime system. We're going to make improvements to the chlorine and ozone systems. We're also going to replace the CO2 feed system. Then we're also going to install a sodium hydroxide for water stability, as well as install a sodium hexametaphosphate system for corrosion inhibition. And then some of these facilities will reside in a brand new chemical building that you see at the top of the page there, which will be the second chemical building we have out there. And it's going to be paid for by a $5 million grant that we received. All of these facilities will help us prepare us to move 24 MGD in the future and make the plant safer and more efficient to operate. So we received competitive bids from Walters Morgan and Crossland Heavy Construction. As it turns out, Crossland Heavy Construction is already out there doing a similar size project, a $30 million project out there for a finished water pump station and recovered water pump station. So we were very pleased that they were the low bidder for this project. The bids were very tight. They differed by less than 2%, and both were within about 4% of the engineer's estimate. So we felt like we got very good quality bids for the project. So the total expenditures for this project are $28 million, and they break down as follows. So it's about $24.9 million, almost $25 million for the Crossland construction bid. Then $463,000 for a professional services agreement with East Breeze Consulting. This company is already out there today doing inspection services for the finished water pump station. They've done a great job. They've been part of the city's success of projects for the past 10 years. So we were pleased that they were able to take on this project as well. And then another $35,000 for inspection services and testing, and then about $2.5 million for contingency. And then the way we're going to fund this project will be $17.8 million from a DWSRF Loan 5, and then $5 million grant that I just spoke about for the chemical building that's EPA congressional directive, and then about $5.1 million from the water fund. And so with that, I will open it up for questions.
I do have one question. Talk to me about the testing part of it. What type of testing are they doing during construction?
So you have two types of testing. So the $35,000 will cover, like when we pour a concrete foundation, you want to know it has the right compressive strength. If we do welding, you want to know are you getting good quality welds. If there's compaction, you want to know that you got really good compaction, and so that's what those are for. And then for the bigger part, it's quality control. So we have there's quality assurance that the contractor is responsible for, but we're we're responsible for quality control. And so he's out there making sure that things are built the way they're supposed to be built, that we're getting our money's worth of the $28 million contract. And so there's a lot of pieces out there, a lot of moving pieces, and we want to make sure everything works as it's supposed to. He's a part of, when we have a testing plan, so we're going to have to build this facility that's supposed to do 24 million MGD in the future. Well, how do you develop a plan that will really test it and make sure that everything can function that way? Well, he kind of gets into the weeds of those testing plans and make sure we're really going to get our money's worth for the project.
Thank you.
And could you also, just real quickly, the DWSRF loan, Drinking Water State Revolving Fund, I had to Google that. Would you talk a little bit about that loan program? I assume it's a low interest type loan program.
It is. It's a $37 million loan. So the two big things that it's paying for is the finished water pump station, the recovered water pump station. That's the first half of it. This project will spend the rest of the balance of it. But as part of a normal course of business, we apply for those loans just to pay for facilities. We'll apply for another one next year, like the Lake McMurtry project. If we don't, if we need other, we're trying to get a different grant. But if we can't, then there's other ways to get money for that.
And the congressionally directed spending is from a couple sessions ago, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Shelley applied for that. It's EPA. It's got a long name. It's it's a congressional directive spending.
Well, that's a big number for a federal grant, and huge thanks to Shelley and I think our congressional reps that Congressman Lucas that has a role in playing plays a role in making sure we get that money. So that's a big deal to be able to get that kind of funding
That'll be good.
from the EPA.
Yep.
If I may, I'd like to just brag on the team because they're actually all in the room. But in 2019, before I was here, 2020, there was kind of a big crossroads about what we're going to do with our water treatment plant and our water system. And I'm really proud of this team for the way they've been pushing go for the last 2 years, getting these big projects started. How do you make big changes incrementally? And they've been knocking out, even though a $25 million project doesn't sound like an increment change, it is. And this is the second big project to get implemented at water treatment plant, all while they're pushing the gas pedal down on the Lake McMurtry water storage project. So I'm really proud of this team. They're getting a lot of work done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's, just to kind of add to that, the SCADA master plan you all approved several months ago, that's all even part of this project as well. So we're all done. It's going to be a first-class facility out there that'll operate efficiently. We'll have KPIs that show that we're continuing getting better, and then the last little piece that'll have to get done at some point in the future is the filter basin. So that'll be after that.
That's great. Trustees, further questions? Did you give us a recommendation yet, Chris?
I can do that now.
Please.
So staff recommends a motion to award a unit price contract to Crossland Heavy Constructions Incorporated for the base bid price of $24,968,000 and authorize the general manager to sign the related documents. Approve a contract for professional services with East Breeze Consulting LLC for inspection services and appropriation of funds in the amount of $463,419 and authorize the general manager to sign related documents. Authorize total construction expenditures of $28,013,060 for construction, East Breeze Consulting, inspection services, project testing, and contingency. And lastly, approve a budget amendments appropriating the funds.
Thank you, Chris. Trustees?
Motion to approve staff's recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the recommendation. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, that is approved. Any reports from the officers of the board? Is there a motion to adjourn SUA?
Motion to adjourn?
Second. We have a motion and a second to adjourn SUA. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, the Stillwater Utilities Authority is now adjourned.